Hello there, my name is Hydo and welcome to the Pantheon, where today we're in the Midnight Hunt. You can actually say that word quite wrong, it won't be a PG show anymore. But today we've got the Powerpuff Girls back, or at least the one remaining member, still playing the drums in the background. It's Sigarda, Champion of Light. 4 mana for a 4/4 with flying and trample, which is pretty good, I'd take that. And then humans you control get +1/+1. She's always loved the little guy, hasn't she? She's taken over from Avacyn. She's looking after people now. And whenever Sigarda attacks, if you control 3 or more creatures with different powers, look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may reveal a human creature card from among them, put it into your hand, put the rest on the bottom library in a random order. So a nice bit of card advantage and really builds you into that sort of human tribe. But it can be quite tricky to get, potentially 3 different powers and toughness. Sigarda obviously is a 4/4, so we want to be concentrating on different powers and toughness to be able to trigger that ability and then take good advantage of the ability. So we're going to be looking at all that, but first, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm going to be making lots more videos like this, one for every single legendary creature in Midnight Hunt, and then I'm going to do every other creature ever. Eventually, they're releasing a lot of them, you know what I mean? It's hard to keep up. But without further ado, let's have a look at the top 5 for Sigarda. And in at number 5, well, we've got some interesting powers and toughnesses on humans, because we really want to build into that human sort of tribe. We want to go full on humans. So Whisper of the Wilds, 2 mana for a 0/2. Tap to add a green, and then Ferocious. So if you have creatures with a power 4 or greater, tap it, add double green. Ooh, that works fantastically with Sigarda. So Sigarda will pump this up to a 1/3, so this can be a 1, in terms of power and toughness, and then any 1/1s are going to be 2/2s and stuff like that. So this is a fantastic individual sort of power and toughness. Then we've got Saruk, the Hunt Caller, another great human here. 4 mana for a 5/4. Human warrior with Formidable. At the beginning of combat on your turn, if creatures you control have total power 8 or greater, target creature you control gains haste until end of turn. So the great thing about this is you play Saruk, then you play Sigarda. Sigarda gives this +1/+1, so it's a 6/5. Then Sigarda's a 4, and because they both have 10 power, you can attack straight away with Sigarda with haste. And then all you have to do is have another, power and toughness on the range, on the scale of whatever you want. Then we've got Mikaeus the Lunac, 1 white for an X/0/0. So you could potentially play 1 mana, just 1 white, to have a 0/0. But thanks to Sigarda, it's a 1/1 if you really, really need to trigger that ability. It enters the battlefield with X/1/1 counter on it, and tap, put a 1/1 counter on Mikaeus. Tap, remove a 1/1 counter from Mikaeus. Put a 1/1 counter on each other creature you control. So that's fantastic for just spreading out the love, making all of your team massive when you're swinging in. This even hits Sigarda, so Sigarda become a 5/5 with trample. Fantastic. Works fantastically in the deck. Then Geist Honored Monk is a really cool include. So 5 mana for a star with Vigilance, Human Monk. Its power and toughness are each equal to the number of creatures you control. So that is going to take up more than likely one of the sort of interesting slots. Did you know there's no humans with power 7, 8, or 6? Why? Why have we not got humans? There is technically one. There's a werewolf which transforms into a 7/7, but I don't know if it's a human on its werewolf side. But this is, going to be on those upper echelons, and it's just a threat by itself. And having Vigilance is really, really good. And those 2/1/1 spirits, well, they're going to be 2/2 flyers, so they can take out a couple of, planeswalkers or something like that. Similarly, we've got Shan, Thisay's Legacy, 2 mana for a 0/0. Can't be target of abilities your opponents control, so, hexproof. Then it gets +1/+1 for each creature you control. So that's absolutely fantastic. This deck is going to go quite wide. I built a little token sub-theme in here. And then this is going to be massive. We just swing in with it. And it's going to trigger our commander because it's going to have some, it's going to be a 9 power creature. We don't have any other ones like this. And it's a human, so it gets an extra one. Then here's an interesting one. Extricator of Sin. 3 mana for a 0/3 human cleric. When it's the battlefield, you may sacrifice another permanent. That could be a creature, maybe a land if you're, ahead on board. If you do, put a 3/2 colours Eldrazi horror creature token onto the battlefield. And Delirium at the beginning of your upkeep. If there are 4 more card types among cards in your graveyard, transform it. So why include this card? Well, for 3 mana, you play it, maybe sacrifice one of your little idiots, your lands. You get a 3/2. So with Sigarda on the field, this is a 1 power. The Eldrazi is a 3-player, Sigarda is a 4 power, and that just triggers Sigarda's ability straight away, and we can just get in for tons of damage and dig through the deck. Then on the other side, we've got Extricator of Flesh, an absolutely horrendous thought. It's an Eldrazi horror, Eldrazi controller, Vigilance, so that token that you had before. You can pay 2, tap, sacrifice a non-Eldrazi creature, put a 3/2 colours Eldrazi horror creature token onto the battlefield. So any of your 1/1s, you can upgrade them, make them a bit better. Really, really nice. I've just realised I was talking about the spirit tokens. They won't get the buff off Sigarda. Neither will the Eldrazi's. I'm a liar. I've just lied completely to you. Sorry about that. But that brings me on to my number 4 selection. Number 4, well, those are interesting creatures that have, unique powers. We can, target anything with Elder Laws and make it a unique power to trigger our commander. 3 mana for a 2/3 human advisor. Pay 4, target creature gets +X until end of turn, where X is the number of creatures you control. So if you've gone really wide with tokens, you use this on whatever you want to, make it massive. Particularly our commander, it's a flying threat. If we've got giving, our commander +10/10, or maybe even +20/20, if we're really going wide, that can just end the game, deal commander damage to someone. Just phenomenal. Absolutely amazing. Similar. Sorry about that. Oh, don't feel good. Kamal, Fist of Crowser is a 6 mana 4/3 human druid. Pay a green, target land becomes a 1/1 creature until end of turn. It's still a land. So there's your 1/1. We've got a 4/4 here. Although our commander is a 4/4. Oh no, it's a human. So if our commander's on the field, this would be a 5 power. Ha ha ha, 2 power. And then we can pay 5. Creatures you control get +3/3 and gain trample until end of turn. Absolutely game ending, especially if we're going wide with tokens. Similarly, we've got Kamal, Heart of Crowser here. 8 mana for a 5/5 human druid. So this will be a 6/6 with our commander on the field. Whoa, true strength. At the beginning of combat on your turn, creatures you control get +3/3 and gain trample until end of turn. So just outright, we're just wiping the board, we're swinging in for tons of damage. Then pay 2 until end of turn. Target land you control becomes a 1/1 elemental creature with vigilance, indestructible, and haste. It's still a land. It has partner, but that doesn't matter here. Just let me talk about this for a second. I've just remembered. So that green ability, target land, becomes a 1/1 until end of turn. Say your opponents are going to wipe the board, or, we're playing white, we play a board wipe. You can use that ability to target your opponent's lands. Just bing, 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 bing. Oh, all of your lands are 1/1s, and then the board wipe just annihilates them. Fantastic. Love that sort of play. Yeah, I mean, your opponents won't, but Ajani, Mentor of Heroes, 5 mana for a 4 loyalty Planeswalker. So Ajani and +1 distribute 3 1/1 counters among up to 1, 2, or 3 target creatures you control. So you can dump them all onto your commander, make her a 7/7, or split it all around, give you those 3 different powers. Then +1, look at the top 4 cards of your library. You may reveal an aura card, a creature, or a planeswalker from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. So that's really good with a couple of cards we're going to talk about later. Because yes, we're looking at the top 5, but we want to manipulate that and get the best ones we can with our commander's ability. And -8, you gain 100 life. Who cares? Then, I know a lot of people hate this card. And, rightly so, it's sold in a ridiculous way, but it's fantastic in the deck. Just proxy it up, call him Snick or something like that, and, draw a picture of an elf or something. I don't care what you do. But it's a 4 mana, 3/4 human soldier. Enter the battlefield, choose 2 abilities from among First Strike, Vigilance, and Lifelink. So, First Strike, Vigilance, just tons of damage, gain loads of life. Vigilance, get in there. And humans you control have each of those abilities. Sorry about that. Had a little bit of a power cut, but we're back now. So let's go on to Bastion Protector. 3/3, 3 mana. Commander creatures you control have +2/2 and vigilance, so it makes our commander a 6. This is a 3, although it'll make itself into a 4 with our commander on the field. And then, nice bit of protection for our commander. Then finally, we've got Krovak's Ascendant Hero. 6 mana for a 4/4. Other white creature control get +1/+1. So a commander will become a 5/5. This will become a 5/5. Non-white creature control get -1/-1. So yes, that can nuke all of our little mono green creatures, but it's so good against our opponents, token strategies. Then you can pay 2 life for a token Crovax from its owner's hand. So, just bounce it back, replay it. If a board wipe's coming, just jump him out of the way. Really, really cool. Brings me on to my number 3 pick. And at number 3, what have we got? Well, it's all about sort of interesting cards to go along with humans. And Gallows at Willow Hill, 3 mana for an artifact, is one of the coolest ones. Pay 3 and tap 3 untapped humans you control. Destroy target creature. Its controller puts a 1/1 white spirit creature token into flying onto the battlefield. Oh well, who cares about a 1/1 with our trampling commander? But such a cool use of all of our creatures. It's just so good and it's so fitting. With hoisting them all up. All our creatures are tapping to go exert themselves, put them on the gallows, and then killing it, and then the spirit floats away. It's such a great little story. Then we got Devout Chaplain, 3 mana for a 2/2. Tap 2 untapped humans you control. Exile target artifact or enchantment to human cleric. Really, really nice, excellent piece of work. Just for 0 mana, you can just sit there, hold this up, tap them, exile an artifact and enchantment. This can absolutely lock down games. Then the Sigarda, a different version. Heron's Grace, 5 mana for a 4/5 flying. You and humans you control of Hexproof. Excellent bit of defense. And pay 2, exile card from your graveyard. Put a 1/1 white human soldier creature token onto the battlefield. So really, really nice, absolutely fantastic. It's exactly what you want to do. Bit of protection and can make its own little token army. Finally, there's Fight as One, an excellent protection spell. 1 white, which is very easy to hold up for an instant. Choose one or both. Target human creature you control gets +1/+1 and gains indestructible. And target non-human creature you control gets +1/+1 and gains indestructible. So 1 mana, we could save our commander and our best thing on the field. Maybe like Rick or something like that. This is astounding in the deck and will really, it'll blow out your opponents completely. Which brings me on to number 2. And at number 2, we've got ways to put things on top of your deck, because you want to be able to get your best cards off your command ability, and Congregation of Dawn is an amazing way of doing it. Double green and white for an instant. Search your library for up to 3 creature cards and reveal them. Shuffle your library and put those cards on top of it in any order. So yes, okay, our commander's ability is going to shuffle 2 of them away, but you could do this in your upkeep, cast it, put the best creature on top that you want to cast this turn, cast it, then with our commander swing in and get the second best, and then you're only shuffling 1 away. But there's so many cool ways that you can play this card. Similarly, there's Cream of the Crop. 2 mana for an enchantment. Whenever a creature comes into play under your control, you may look at the top X cards of your library, where X is the great creature's power. If you do, put 1 of them on the top of your library and the rest on the bottom of the library in any order. So this just helps you dig through. We're going to be getting creatures onto the field anyway, so we may as well get an advantage from it. And for 2 mana, you can play this before you cast your commander and set up a cool draw step. There's so many things you can do with it. Now, expensive card alert. Proxy. Sylvan Tutor is a 1 green sorcery. Search your library for a creature card, reveal that card, shuffle your library and put that card on top. So just get whatever you want, put it on top, then tutor it to your hand. Amazing for 1 green mana. Primal Command, very similar. 5 mana for a sorcery, choose 2. Target player gains 7 life. Here we go, opponent, I'll help you out, as long as you don't kill me next turn. Put target non-creature opponent on top of its owner's library. Target player shuffles his or her graveyard into his or her library, so nice bit of graveyard hate. And search your library for a creature card, reveal it, put it into your hand, and shuffle your library. So this doesn't exactly tutor to the top to use with our commander's ability, but it gets us whatever creature we want at the time. Brutalizer, Exarch, Brutalizer, Exarch, Brutalizer Exarch is a 6 mana 3/3, ends the battlefield, choose 1. Search your library for a creature card, reveal it, shuffle your library and put that card on top of it, so whatever you want to tutor to get with your commander, or put target non-creature opponent on the bottom of its owner's library. So, Ristic Study's really giving you trouble. Let's put it on the bottom. Goodbye. And then they tutor for it next turn anyway. Well, the tutor, exactly the same as Sylvan Tutor, except it's an instant, so you can do it in response to things. And then we've got Mulvaney, Beast Tracker. Oh, tickly throat. 3 mana for a 2/1. 3 mana for a 2/1. When it enters the battlefield, search your library for a creature card with Death Touch, Hexproof, Reach, or Trample. Reveal it, shuffle your library, put that card on top of it. So, there is a lot of deck building sort of manipulation you have to do there, and there aren't too many humans with those sort of keywords, but there are a couple. So if you want to search them up, this is a great include, and it's a human itself. Which brings me on to number 1, and we've manipulated things onto the top of our library. Let's just get them for free with Call of the Wild. 4 mana for an enchantment. 4 mana, reveal the top card of your library. If it's a creature card, put it into play. Otherwise, put it into your graveyard. So with that Congregation of Dawn that puts 3 into the top of your library, use it, pay 4 mana twice, get those top 2, and then attack with that command and get the 3rd into your hand. This card is so, so cool. Look at that artwork as well, those big sort of tusky boys. They just look amazing. And this card is so, so cool. The fact that you can do it at instant speed is just awesome. Similarly, there's Lurking Predators. Where are they? Where are they gone? Oh, they've not gone anywhere. They're about to eat me. 6 mana for an enchantment. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, reveal the top card of your library. If it's a creature card, put it onto the battlefield. Otherwise, you may put the card on the bottom of your library. So, you know, if we've not set it up, you might hit something, but if not, you can sort of filter your draws. You can choose. You may put the card on the bottom. So if you see a game-winning spell on the top, just leave it there. Yes, your opponents know about it, but you can play with people. It's really, really cool. But there's another way to do it. There's Descendant's Path. 3 mana for an enchantment. At the beginning of your upkeep, reveal the top card of your library. If it's a creature card that shares a creature type with a creature you control, creature, you may cast that card without paying its mana cost. Otherwise, put that card on the bottom of your library. Absolutely amazing with the human tribal sort of aspect that we've gone to. We can really sort of manipulate it and just, it's so, so good. Then a slightly interesting one. It's an elf wizard, so not a human, but Bloodline Shaman. 2 mana for a 1/1 tap. Choose a creature type. Human. Reveal the top card of your library. If the card is the creature type of the chosen type, put it into your hand. Otherwise, put it into your graveyard. So this can just set up a draw step. For 2 mana, yes, it's not a human, so it doesn't get any buffs, so it doesn't really, it'll be a 1/1 for Sigarda, even if she's on the field, because it won't buff it. But there's so much play here. It's so cool, and it just works so well. And look at her, she's got a nice straight arm. Then, Selvala Stampede. This isn't exactly about the very top of your library, but it's fantastic anyway. 6 mana for a sorcerer, Counter's Dilemma. Starting with you, each player votes for wild or free. Reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a creature card for each wild vote. Put those cards onto the battlefield and shuffle the rest into your library. You may put a permanent card from your hand onto the battlefield for each free vote. This is fantastic both ways, You can head games people as well. You can say, okay, I want to put something from my hand. And then they're going, Jesus Christ, what's in his hand? I'll just go your library. Haha, mistake. It was a Llanowar Elves. And then you can just get tons of value from, your library. Then there's turns into Symbiosis. 7 mana for a sorcery. Look at the top 7 cards of your library. You may put a creature card from among them onto the battlefield. If that card has converted mana cost 3 or less into the battlefield with an additional 3 1/1 counts on it. But the rest on the bottom of the library in a random order. So that's just great value. If your commander's not on the field to, get a creature and cast it, this can just sort of dig for anything big and just get it for free. And if you're really low on lands, on the other side of it, there's a land here that can come in untapped if you pay 3 life. Absolutely phenomenal. And those are my top 5 cards for Sigarda. She's really, really quite cool. I like her quite a lot. I'm a big fan. I'm a human. I like it when, I'm walking down, the main street of my little town and a massive angel comes by and I start getting a little bit more muscular and then she flies away and I'm back to normal. So why wouldn't I like this commander card? Oh, God. I'm falling to pieces. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this and I'll see you soon. Bye.